clear how to practice it, how to make it present in our life, and to concretely behave. Where Bhagavad Gita gives us the teachings of Krishna, in a nutshell, let's say, the Srimad Bhagavatam opens it, details it, illustrates the path. And because following this tradition, following in the footsteps of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this Chaitanya Charitamrita is considered nectarian for the Vaishnavas, the Vaishnava Sampradaya, because it is all about the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya, the hidden avatar of this age in Kali Yuga. And it's a very big fortune for us to have this opportunity to understand his personality, what was his pastimes when he was present 500 years ago. And he is a very special avatar. He is called the most magnanimous avatar. Why? Because he gives everyone the chance to get the highest benefit of spiritual life, Krishna Prem, and he make it accessible to everyone. And when we understand that from Srimad Bhagavatam there were previous ages where the people in general were more sattvic in a way, the environment was more favorable for different practice, we understand, and the capacities, the lifespan was longer, the concentration capacities, the meditation was possible, It is said in Bhagavatam that some meditated for 60,000 years, for instance. We know in Kali Yuga that our lifespan is 100 years, so what can we do, And even when we try the best to meditate, our meditation is quite often disturbed, So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, still by his mercy, he gave us the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And with the sound vibration of this mantra, we can elevate our consciousness. Either we are intelligent, not intelligent, rich, poor, we understand the scriptures, we don't understand the scriptures, it works. If we give little faith, it works. And the fruit of this process is to arise this servantship and to ultimately reach our natural relationship with Krishna. Krishna, it's a very special book because Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami started to write it very aged. He was very aged. Rohit Prabhu, do you remember maybe what time he was? Or how old he was?
He was 95.
95, Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami. When he started to read this, to write down, to compile this book, he was 95. Can you imagine at 95 to start writing a book? It's inconceivable. But because he was empowered, the devotees asked him, please, write something. And he had a confirmation in a dream that he should write the book from Krishna himself directly, And by this instruction, he wrote for our benefit this Chaitanya Charitamrita depicting all the life. And so Chaitanya Charitamrita is in 3 parts. Adilila, Madhyalila, Antyalila. Beginning, middle, and end of his life. And for each part, there are different pastimes. In Adilila, so we are in the beginning now. We are reading from Adilila, chapter 8 of Adilila. The title of this chapter is The Author Receives the Orders of Krishna and Guru. And it's quite powerful to understand how he was empowered and how he was himself showing the example of how to consider Guru and who is Guru and how you should proceed. When you receive instruction from the spiritual master or Guru, it's like, it's the life and soul of a devotee to try to fulfill this instruction. the goal is not necessarily to obtain the result of this instruction. Like, let's say, spiritual master told you, okay, you should write a book. The point is not to manage to write the book. The point is to do all you can to write it. And in this regard, there is an example of a devotee who once was mocked at by the brahmanas of a temple because he was trying to read the Bhagavad Gita, but he was reading it in the other sense because he was illiterate, so he could not read. But his spiritual master instructed him to read, and so he tried his best. And when Lord Chaitanya came and saw that, and he saw that this devotee was crying, trying to read the book, he said, "Why are you crying?" So we may first think that he was crying because the other was mocking at him, but no, he was crying because he was looking at a picture of the Bhagavad Gita and he was seeing how Krishna was serving his servant Arjuna, and he found it so marvelous, this relationship, that for him it was making cry. And Lord Chaitanya understood that, and he expressed that you have understood all the purport of this book, even if you don't read it. And this was a big lesson for all the brahmanas who may know all the shlokas, all the mantras, and perform so many, ritualistic ceremonies and so on, but are not compassionate enough or personal enough to understand that this devotee was, trying his best and realized already the Bhagavad Gita, even though he was not able to read it. So from that, we understand that, as I mentioned, intellectual capacities will not help us to realize, ultimately, to have the full realization of Krishna, but only bhakti, the bhakti process, to perform devotional service offered to Krishna. And what we are trying to reach is this level of pure devotional service. And to practice pure devotional service, we need to first understand what it is. What is devotional service? What is pure devotional service? And because we want to reach this level, we need to follow pure devotees. Who else can give you pure bhakti if not a pure bhakta? So Lord Chaitanya Krishna incarnates as Lord Chaitanya to show the example of a perfect devotee. It's very special, Lord Chaitanya. The Lord comes himself to serve, to show the example of a perfect devotee, so to serve himself, kind of, And Lord Chaitanya is Radha and Krishna himself, both in the same personality. And it's a very deep understanding. And that's why the book is considered, like, we know that Srimad Bhagavatam is higher studies, but this Chaitanya Charitamrita is even higher study to fully grasp the personality. And only through bhakti we can realize that. So we'll try to today go in this verse with the blessings of the Guru Parampara and try to understand a little more about Lord Chaitanya. Om Ajnanatimidandasya Jnanjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhisham Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Pancha Karpatarubhyascha Vipasindhu Bhavevascha
Patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah.
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Nam Hare Nam Eva Kevalam Kalo Nasteva Gatiranyatha. Okay, so if you have your phone to read, because today the verse is not on the board, today we read from verse 58.
Yes. Last time we have done 57.
Is it the one that you showed me?
No.
No.
We have
I
done
remember there was a word fault.
57, 58, Gauranga, Dayanita Prabhu has done.
Yeah.
And so today is 60.
60.
59 and 60.
Alright. So, Adilila, chapter 8, verse 60. 59. We
And
start
in
with
59 he decided and he took 58.
Yeah.
So 60 you can do
Yeah.
directly. Yeah. Adilila, which chapter? 8th? Which chapter?
No, we read it. This 60.
60 also?
Yeah.
Okay.
60, 61, we read it.
Okay. Then 62.
62, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we talked about Pandit Haridas because I remember Vatinandana was commenting on that.
Yeah. I told you the next one,
Yeah, so 62.
Yes, 62.
Sorry.
8th chapter?
Yes, 8th chapter.
Okay.
Vaishnavera gunagrahi nadekaye dosha
Vaishnavera gunagrahi na dikhaye dosha
Kaya mano vakye kare Vaishnava santosha
Kaya mano vakya kare Vaishnava santosha
Vaishnavera gunagrahi nadakeya dosha
Vaishnavera gunagrahi na dikhaye dosha
Kaya mano vakye kare Vaishnava santosha
Kaya mano vakya kare Vaishnava santosha
Vaishnavera gunagrahi nadekaye dosha
Vaishnavera gunagrahi na dikhaye dosha
Kaya mano vakye kare Vaishnava santosha
Kaya mano vakya kare Vaishnava santosha. Adilila 8.62. Vaishnavera gunagrahi na dikhaye dosha
Vaishnavera gunagrahi nadekaye dosha
Kaya mano vakya kare Vaishnava santosha
Kaya mano vakye kare Vaishnava santosha
Vaishnavera gunagrahi nadeke dosha.
Vaishnavera gunagrahi na dikhaye dosha
Kaya manovakya kara Vaishnava santosha.
Kaya mano vakya kare Vaishnava santosha
Vaishnavera gunagari na dikhaye dosa.
Vaishnavera gunagrahi na dikhaye dosha
Kaya mano vakya kare Vaishnava santosa.
Kaya mano vakye kare Vaishnava santosha
Vaishnavera gunagrahi nadekaya dosha.
Vaishnavera gunagrahi na dikhaye dosha
Kaya manovakekara Vaishnava santosha.
Kaya mano vakya kare Vaishnava santosha.
Vaishnavera
Vaishnavera
of devotees
of devotees
Gunagrahi
Gunagrahi
accepting good qualities
accepting good qualities
Na
Na
never
Never
Dekaye
Dikhaye
Cease
Cease
Dosha
dosha,
any fault,
any fault,
kaya mana vakye,
kaya mana vakya,
with heart and soul,
with heart and soul,
kare,
kare,
does, Vaishnava,
Vaishnava,
devotee,
devotee,
santosha,
santosha,
pacification.
pacification.
Translation. He was always accepted the good qualities of Vaishnavas and never found fault in them. He engaged his heart and soul only to satisfy the Vaishnavas. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. It is a qualification of a Vaishnava that he is Adosha Darshi. He never sees others' faults. Of course, every human being has both good qualities and faults. Therefore, it is said, Sat jana gunam ichanti dosham ichanti pamara. Everyone has a combination of faults and glories. But a Vaishnava, a sober man, accepts only a man's glories and not his faults. For flies seek sores, whereas honeybees seek honey. Haridas Pandit never found fault with a Vaishnava, but considered only his good qualities. I will read the verse again. He always accepted the good qualities, so we are talking about
Haridas.
Pandit Haridas. He always accepted the good qualities of Vaishnavas and never found fault in them. He engaged his heart and soul only to satisfy the Vaishnavas. So it's an important verse, again, like every verse, every word of the scriptures. Fault finding is a tendency, as Dayanita, I think, was mentioning recently. Fault finding can destroy a whole community. If we start, everyone in a temple, in a yatra, start to develop this mentality to find fault in other and to concentrate on that, then it can destroy all the relationships. And we can easily understand if you are at work and your boss is always telling you what is wrong, it's not very encouraging and you feel discouraged and you just then feel bad and you want to leave, find another place, because it's not easy to perform your work in such a situation. So it should be always balanced. And this is a principle that we should try to apply. Like, of course, we all need to improve in our life. And it's good to have this wish to help others. We can have the good motive, but the form is also important. And if we think about the topic of improvement, as we know in Kali Yuga, we are very low in terms of consciousness, in terms of qualities, especially Vaishnava qualities. What already sometimes we're not behaving as humans, so what to say of behaving as Vaishnava, servant of the servants, this we don't have. Why? Because there is a lot of contamination. Material life is more and more prominent. If you look in the outside world, most of the people are less and less inclined to spiritual life. They don't accept God, and this mentality of I am the doer, I decide on my own life, I am independent of any religious, anything, even of the government, I am independent. This creates a lot of disturbance in the society, and themselves they suffer. They declare it, but then they don't understand that there are so many bad consequences for their own life. And considering this, it's natural that we have some faults, some bad tendencies in ourselves, because all the society now in this Kali Yuga is around hypocrisy and quarrel. And more there will be wars. It's already present, but it will reinforce. Why? Because we neglect spiritual life, and so when spiritual life is neglected, then the tendency to possess things is stronger. And because you want to possess more of the same thing, either riches, territory, it's a limited place, this material world. So of course, if you want to possess more, it means you take from someone else. And so necessarily there is war. That's why in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is explaining us that he is the ultimate beneficiary of all the sacrifices. And all our actions should be targeted towards him, not ourselves. It should be for his benefit. And if we collectively develop this mindset, then we can talk about peace. But given the circumstances, for now, that's why devotees following in the footsteps of Krishna try to make their own part, try to show the example of how we should offer to the Lord our food, our time, our thoughts, to show that this sacrifice brings purification of the heart and brings our real purpose of life, meaning to find back our relationship with the Lord as a servant. Because this is a natural position of the soul. To serve makes us really happy. Is this genuine happiness? When you are really doing the service and in the mood of serving, because sometimes you may serve, but you have other motives. I will serve because I will show I am so nice person, and they will like me and they will give me, I don't know, maybe sometimes will give me money at some point. Sometimes we may have these desires inside. This is not what we are looking for. We are looking for the sincere wish to please Krishna by serving the devotees, by serving Krishna, and not by being glorious, glorified, or developing this and that material benefit. Either money, fame, women, this is all present. And it's not pleasing for Krishna if we keep this mindset. At the same time, Krishna warns us in Bhagavad Gita that we all come with material motive to Krishna. We have, either we come for riches, out of curiosity, out of suffering, how many people suffer in this world and want to get relief from that. That's a natural tendency. And they come to Krishna consciousness because they see that people are happy here. How is it doing? I don't know, but I want the same that they have. When they see a great Harinam, everyone is dancing, singing joyfully, like it was the case Thursday evening. For 1 hour, so many people join around just looking like this. Wow, it looks so nice. And so after they all came to join this party, and Chandramukhi was here with the saris, it was a beautiful atmosphere, beautiful kirtan going on, so many devotees all together, and the power of this collective joy is contaminating everyone around. And this is Lord Chaitanya's mercy. He showed us, he was personally doing this Harinam Sankirtan, and a special one, Prem Sankirtan. He was sharing when he was present this Prem Sankirtan, and everyone who was in contact with him, either you understand, you don't understand, you just get it, and you just join, because there is no choice. It's awakened immediately in your heart. And this is the wave of Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan mission, that when you get in contact with this wave, you cannot really escape from it. Now, as followers of Lord Chaitanya, we don't have the same potency. We cannot claim that we are giving this wave, but we are following in his footsteps, and by his mercy, by continuing this mission, his mercy can manifest through us. So this is our responsibility as well, to perform this Harinam Sankirtan. And this is an infallible process. Jananda Maharaj recently said here in the temple that this Harinam is, what is the word that he used? Infallible kind of.
Culmination?
No, he was saying that this Harinam Sankirtan is infallible. All the rest is supposed to feed this. The management of the temple, the cleaning and so on is ultimately for this, for Harinam, you know, because this cannot fail. And so yeah, it's very crucial aspect of his mission here. He gave us this this mood of wishing to serve, to please the Lord by manifesting to our ears the holy name of Krishna. And the holy name of Krishna is the sound. It's also an incarnation. It's the sound incarnation of Krishna. And our chanting ultimately should help us, or should lead us to realize that Krishna is none different from his name. There is a long way to go, because to learn or to understand this means that our heart should be purified from all these anarthas that were accumulated from time immemorial. And that's why we practice devotional service, we serve the Vaishnavas, we follow the instructions of our Guru Parampara to cleanse our hearts and to welcome the Lord here, that He Himself manifests and clears out everything and really help us to get this natural constitution of serving. Having said that, to come back to fault finding, so this tendency we understand in Kali Yuga, it's natural, we have. We cannot say, oh, I don't have, it's okay. Or we cannot also lament. We can, of course, but it's not what Krishna wants from us. We should neither pretend we don't have, neither lament that we have. Because if we lament all day long, oh, I have so many bad qualities, I have so many bad qualities, then it becomes your mantra. And this is not the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, so it cannot work. But this lamentation can happen sometimes, but it should not be a long, long day like, oh, Krishna, so bad. No, it should be turned into positive. Krishna consciousness doesn't mean you lament, it means you act positively, you do what you can do. And what we can do is to engage our body, speech and mind in Krishna's service, to please the devotees. And this is a very important aspect, not directly Krishna, but the devotees. This is our pathway to please our acharyas and to please Krishna. And fault finding is not pleasing. What is this fault finding tendency? Is like, oh, today I come to the temple and I see this is not clean. Who is responsible for this cleaning? Oh, he didn't clean today. It's very bad. Prabhu, you didn't clean today. What were you doing? You are on the schedule. This is true in a way. But again, our point is not to be right, is not to be true, is to serve. And when we start speaking to a person, first we should understand what is our motive. It requires a little bit introspection, and it's difficult because sometimes we are tense, we are tired, and we forget this. Why am I coming to this person? To help, or to just be right and show you didn't do, this or that? We should really come with this motive to help. And sometimes to help means to remember, to remind, or to explain that, yeah, you didn't do this, it was your duty. Because if this devotee or that devotee often does or does not do this seva, it's not favorable for his spiritual life. So it is a duty of a responsible to share about it and to explain and to find solution. But the best way to approach devotee is first to glorify him. And this is valid in any circumstances. Rather than to always come for faults, first to remember. And now we understand better why Krishna gave me opportunity today to read the Chaitanya Charitamrita in front of you, it's to remember that glorification of a devotee, every devotee is special. How many devotees there are in France? Let's say 1,000. How many inhabitants there is in France? Do you know? Approximately 70 million, kind of. So 1 out of 70 million people practice Krishna consciousness. So already this is very special. So if we are, working on a material platform and, just want to, that this person is our order supplier, or that we want to boss him, we expect from him this and that, but not wishing to help him in his spiritual life, then it's not very favorable and pleasing to Lord Chaitanya and to Sri Krishna. And what is the benefit? How to approach is by glorifying. Doesn't mean we flatter, but sometimes it may be required to help this devotee. It should be always a balance. Instructing, glorifying, we cannot always say this was not done, this was not done. And another aspect of fault finding is that these things happen. It's not favorable for the development of the temple, but it should be said in some form. Glorification in one aspect, but also to be solution oriented is another aspect. To say, okay, this is not good or this is not done is one thing, but what is your solution? This should be the mindset also. Otherwise, you are just putting the responsibility on someone else, but is this person is qualified for that? Can he always reply to this? And this is our responsibility to try to see how we can help individually in this or that situation, to take our part. And it's difficult because it means at some point we have to get out of the comfort zone. That's the inconvenient when we think that, okay, there is, in this context, everyone is supposed, so you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do that, everything is written down. And so when it gets a little bit out of this comfort zone, everyone is lost. That's the difficulty. And there is no flexibility. But Srila Prabhupada wanted us to show our love for him by cooperating. And when there is an emergency case, it's right here that we should show our cooperative mood. But the tendency is, oh, this is not my responsibility. Can you find a solution? Can you find a solution? Where is cooperation here? We are just bouncing the ball on everyone else. And ultimately, it doesn't work, and there is stress, and it disturbs all the community. So you see this, there are different aspects, different degrees of this fault finding, but ultimately, it's if it's not carefully taken into consideration and worked on, it can lead to the community fall. We easily understand it if it's regular mindsets, all the consequences that can happen. So how now to work on it? Glorification of the devotees, to take care, to consider each devotee as special, to remember that we are very fortunate to have their association, and that Krishna sends this situation, these devotees, for our own purification. How we will purify? By just staying in our room or in our little comfort zone? No. If you want to go deeper, we need to get out of our comfort zone. We need to accept the situations by Krishna's mercy. Why? Because we need to develop tolerance. Trinadapi sunichana, tarorapi sahishnuna, amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. Krishna consciousness ultimately aims at constantly chanting the holy name of the Lord, because this helps us to be fully and always Krishna conscious. This is our goal. 24 hours a day, Krishna conscious, even while sleeping. Some devotees back then, Prabhupada has time, maybe still, but I don't know them were chanting the holy name while sleeping. Quite often. There are some stories like devotees, they are sleeping but they are chanting. And other devotees hear them. Unbelievable. But it can happen. And this is it's a dream life if you think about it, to always be in contact with Krishna's holy name. Yeah, to reach this level is definitely quite high, but not impossible. And to make it possible, it's only by allowing ourselves to get more mercy, because all our spiritual life is based on, of course, our effort, but also on the mercy of Lord Krishna through his incarnations, through the Guru Parampara, and through the devotees. And glorification is one aspect. The moment also when you say it, this is also very important. Sometimes you may see a situation and you want immediately, that it changes, that the situation is now better. Okay, you made a fault, now you correct it right now. So you do this, you do that. And it's not only in a temple context, sometimes in grihastha life, household life, like one of the other see a fault, something is not going on, and you want immediately to correct. But a devotee is in his mood, in his service, and better sometimes to wait a little, that the service is done. Otherwise what happens, there is disturbance of both. The one who is upset because he found some fault or some mistake that was done, and by trying immediately to solve the situation, or at least to express the fault, then the other person is also disturbing his service. And so what happens, there is fight, and it's even worse. So control of the senses is also controlling the speech. And control the speech means sometimes you just wait, chant Hare Krishna, and you come back later. It happened by Krishna mercy sometimes that I had this thought, let's chant one round before saying anything. And one round is so powerful, And of course, it shouldn't be a meditation. Oh, Krishna, help me. I need help for managing this. No, but just one round. Okay, Krishna, I will do one round because I am so agitated. I will try. And by doing this, the holy name of Krishna, here you can realize how powerful it is to pacify the mind and to reconnect with the mood of servitor. How can I approach this person? By being a servant. Yes, I have something to tell this person, but I have to properly do it. So find a good time, good circumstances, the good words, and to understand the person. Okay, how I should approach this person, because you cannot approach two different devotees the same way. For some devotees, you have to be direct. For other devotees, you have to be indirect. For some devotees, you can say, okay, today, for instance, you didn't clean. It's not clean, I'm sorry, but can you do a little more cleaning here? This will work. He will accept it, do it. For another devotee, it should be more indirect. Like, today I saw in the bathroom, you don't address, directly to the person. You say, today I saw in the bathroom it was not very clean. You know what happens? Indirectly like this. And maybe the person will not remember that he was in or her schedule. So you can remind like this indirectly. And this is also part of cooperation, to care for the devotees and to consider these individualities, this character of the devotees. And this is being personal. And our whole Krishna consciousness movement is trying to be personal, also in our relationships, in our dealings with the devotees. And so this means it's not like there is something fault, I should say it directly and it's the same for everyone. I am right. You may be right, but not pleasing Krishna. Krishna doesn't want to be right. Again, he wants us to be serving his devotees. He wants us to be humble, developing tolerance. And yeah, this is what came to my mind about this topic. I will leave some place. It's 9, sorry for delay. If you want to share anything, any realization on this topic, I covered a little part of it, but I'm sure there are many more aspects to it.
Questions.
Rohit? Yes.
Sometimes like
Questions or
yeah.
one question?
questions.
Whew. Let's go.
Because this topic is like a sensitive and it's important.
Yes.
So sometimes like if you happen to serve with another devotee,
Yes.
sometimes he may get angry
Yes.
and so he may scold also. That time he may forget. But that anger will be in that moment only. Apart from that, he may forget that he scolded us. But how to deal in that situation?
For who?
If he scold, like another devotee.
If he calls.
Yeah, if we do some mistake and he scold, we can't.
He's cold, meaning he's harsh. He's
maybe.
yeah, cold, huh?
Scold.
I don't understand this word.
Scolding.
Reprimandé.
Ah, réprimander. Okay, I understand. Merci beaucoup. Yeah, and the devotee feels bad about it, like, oh, he was harsh with me, kind of, yeah?
No. So how to deal in that situation?
For whom? For the one who scolds or for the one who is cold?
Scolded.
The one who is scolded? Okay, we'll talk about both. Again, a devotee sees everything as Krishna's mercy. This is the mindset to develop. So the one who is scolded might think, oh, today Krishna wants to correct me through this devotee. And the one who scolds should consider, oh, this fault that I see now is Krishna's mercy for me to develop tolerance. And maybe then the form of the one who tried to correct the situation is not proper, and then himself should try to should try to analyze the result, how the one who was taught or corrected is behaving now. How does he feel? It's not like you say your words and then you don't care. You have to see how the person reacts.
Yeah.
This is the responsibility when you are in any managerial position, be it in a work context or in the temple context. Yeah, you should look all of this, how to and what is the result, how the person feels after. And this is very crucial. I remember, who was saying this? Anyway, the point is we will progress not only by practicing, by doing this and that service, but by analyzing after what happened during our seva. What is the result? What did I say? How was the reaction of the devotees in the room? For instance, we take the context of a class. Or when we are singing this or that bhajan. Was I in the melody? What happens? To analyze. Because you can repeat every day the same bhajan, but if you don't then try to correct, to improve yourself, then you will always be in the same trap. You will not evolve. And for the person, and it's especially valid for the person in the management, to look back. Okay, now what is the situation? And to ask help. That's why Vaishnava association is very important for everyone. Management needs to have authorities also. It's not like you're a manager and okay, now I am Godhead and I decide everything and I am fully right. Everyone should listen to me and that's it. No. First quality is to be humble servant of another authority and to learn from this authority. And if there is any doubt in the heart, or maybe I did wrong, or I feel he's bad now, maybe I should give a word. Yes. This is the point. And then for the one who is in the position of being corrected, This is Krishna's mercy. Then to feel bad about it, uh, we cannot say, oh no, I don't feel bad, it's okay, I should not feel bad. No, if you feel bad, it's a natural and it's a valid feeling. It's a valid feeling. We cannot say it's not valid feeling. Every feeling is valid. You know, every feeling is valid. Then to lament on this feeling and to spend so much time meditating on that is not favorable for your life. So better go to the Vaishnavas, to whom you trust, and share about the situation to find a solution. Don't remain within yourself. Don't be mindful about it. Otherwise the mind will be so much disturbed and then all the rest will be gone. And the other will not understand what happens. So that's why every devotee should have this this opportunity to open the heart to someone whom you trust. Maybe it's not always possible, but at least we can have the desire for that. Okay, Krishna, please, I need help. Please send me someone to help. That's it. That's what came to my mind. I don't know if one of you want to share something about this, another aspect of the reply.
Sometimes if our wrong, we may do fault not wantedly, but it happened by mistake. So no one do the fault by wantedly. Like suppose if there is book, I can't throw wantedly. So by mistake it happens. So even the devotee continues like that, go on, how long we can tolerate or limit, or we need to pray for Krishna.
There is a difference between a fault and a mistake. The different degrees. You may do a mistake, you know, and I don't know, you put the book on the floor, for instance. You know, it is a mistake because maybe you don't know about it, that we should not do it because it's so precious, and you know, we should show respect to these wonderful literatures. And I remember in Hungary, devotees, at some point they were bowing down. I was in the room and they bowed down, all of them. I thought that Shivala Maharaj is already there, why they bow down again? But actually the Bhagavatam was arriving. And all devotees are so educated there, they bow down when the Bhagavatam arrives. All of them. I was like, okay. I didn't understand, but then I was, what happens? The Bhagavatam arrives. Oh, yeah. Jananda Maharaj, before he left, we were in the book room, and he felt bad that the book room is dirty, messy, that the books are, put like this, and other things are also put in the room because we don't know where to put them. The book room for him is a temple, and the books are deities. He said, it pains my heart when I see this. The books are deities, and probably for the French public, they are even more relevant than the deities here. Why? Because the French community is not attracted by, unfortunately, the deity worship. But they are more attracted maybe by the philosophy, by the world, by the whole names. And he was sharing this. So it's important, but not to go too far from our topic. So you may do this mistake, a little mistake. Mistake if you are not aware of this. But then if someone comes to you and say, you should not put because of this, and there is a clear explanation, and then you do again the same mistake, it becomes fault, And then there are responsibilities and consequences for that. In the government, if you don't respect the law, what happens? You are punished. You don't know or you are still punished. So it's the same way. That's the thing. The consequence will happen. You may not be aware, but you are doing the fault. The mistake may also bring the result. That's why we need to also not accept our ignorance, but try to be inquisitive. Okay, how I should do better, this and that, as much as we can. Listen to other devotees.
So another second point, you said that immediate correct.
And it should be the last question.
Yeah, last question. Immediate correct, that it may be not be possible for some people or some people may take months or years. How to, what you say about it?
About?
Like you said, Grihastha example or
Yeah.
temple example.
Yeah.
So two devotees now give, you
Yeah.
can correct them. So immediate rectification may be not possible
Yes.
or possible. So what do you want to say on that?
Immediate
It may
rectification most of the time is not good.
Yeah.
Why? Because the one who wants to correct is angry.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to be benefiting the person, yourself, you need to be peaceful. So when it doesn't enter the heart, and that's why in the communication there is tension after. Because if you say with the emotion of anger, it's not through the language of love, so it doesn't enter the heart.
Yeah.
You can try whatever words, whatever strategy, but it will not enter the heart. Unless you are a pure devotee like Srila Prabhupada and you manage to show anger, but the devotee feels, so much purification right on the spot. Yeah, but we are not this level. So better wait a little, find a good word, and not rectify on the spot. That's it.
Thank you.